Hello my friends, we have some news from the front lines. Those are good and bad. First, let's review the bad news, and for that we need to zoom in for the Bakhmut City, the hotspot of the front lines. And let's check the timeline for today. So it was yesterday and it is today. So Russia moved 1/4 more from the south. They also gained some sort of that land over here in this area, and also obviously moved towards the city center. And before it was a little bit different, but now they start to move again. There was the snowfall a couple of days ago, but most of the snow melted down and they can move inside the city. As for the fields, it's not very convenient and very uncomfortable for the Wagner soldiers. And the last night, Prigozhin was filming the video about the Russian flag that they are going to put on the government building today. And I saw the different video how Russian soldiers put this flag somewhere, stating that it is the main government building. And that information was confirmed by the Ukrainian forces, for example, Deep State. So now we have this advancement for the recent 24 hours. And I think this is the main building that they were able to take under their control. If we go to the satellite image, yeah, the picture is kind of the bad quality, but I may say that it's the main municipal building of the city. But no worries, my friends, the Ukrainian forces are still in Bakhmut City, in the western part of it, and the main thing that Russia is unable to encircle the city from the north and from the south. And they will not be able to perform this maneuver until they take Khromove under their control. So if we lose Khromove, it's time to get out from the Bakhmut itself. Speaking about the Bakhmut outskirts or suburbs, there is no any movement for many days. So if we scroll down, for many days, no any change. But as I said to you, we have some sort of the good news from the Ozeranovka, the village on the south of the Bakhmut city. And if we go to the timeline, it was yesterday and it is today. So Ukraine took this road under their control and still unable to cross this river to go to the village itself. But the main thing that Ukraine is capable to propel and drive out Russian forces from small parts. Yes, this is the very small part, but still it's the action, the counter attack. The small one at first, but it's not really far away from the Bakhmut city. If we go, you can see it's Klishivka over here, it's the Bakhmut city, and this is the Ozeranovka, so not far away, and we can actually penetrate the Russian defense somewhere over here and go to Opitna to the south, cutting the Wagner forces out here. So 1, 2 and 3 regiments or battalions that Russia uses on the south part of the Bakhmut, and I think that south is more vulnerable compared to the north part because they advanced quite a lot from the Krasnoy Hora, and it's kind of hard to cut them from this area, especially with the supply line. Here are not as many supply lines and quite a wild land out there. And maybe Ukraine starts to analyze the situation, perform the small counterattacks in that area to find the vulnerability of the Russian defense lines. And one more change we have near to Vuhledar. Russia just advanced a little over here. They tried to reach Vuhledar, losing lots of the armored vehicles and tanks, but today they moved forward far from the city. So let me show you the timeline. It was yesterday and it is today, so definitely it's the movement of the Russian column or something. But still they are unable to have the major success in that region, and Vuhledar, it's like a second Chernobylivka for the Russian Federation. Alright, about our yesterday's hero, the Russian propagandist, and his Darwin Award. Really, it happened as many people said, and this video was published just on Telegram, so I shared it also on my Telegram channel. My friends, I highly recommend you to subscribe for my Telegram channel. The link you may find in the video description just below, or you may scan the QR code, but you are probably watching me from the mobile device, so I don't know how you can do it, but anyways, subscribe for me on Telegram channel. We have more than 130,000 subscribers over there, and I use the Telegram as my alternate source. It's less censorship compared to YouTube, and if something goes wrong with my channel, you may always find me on Telegram. So Box confirmed, the statue that exploded confirmed, and the woman confirmed, but she says that she was not aware of what is inside that statue. She said she was given with that statue to present to the Russian propaganda blogger. Polish officials say that they sent the majority of the MiG-29 airplanes to Ukraine already. And why those news are good? Well, basically because Ukraine is almost ready for the full-scale counterattack. And the United States representative in NATO alliance, Juliana Smith, said that United States are waiting for the Ukrainian counteroffensive that will happen in nearby weeks. And I personally think that the advancement of the Ukrainian forces will happen after the Easter. For the Orthodox Christians, it is on 16th of April, but not later than the first half of the May. So somewhere in between, and it also depends on the weather conditions. So usually after the Easter we have the significantly warmer weather, but at the second half of the May we have the thunderstorm season. And thunderstorms may also be risky because it's very hard to predict where the cell of the thunderstorm will form and where it's gonna be the rain, shower rain. And just imagine that you go on a counteroffensive and immediately the soil is covered with the water, there could be hail, thunder, and all of the other stuff that may ruin the particular attack at particular spot. So I think it's not better to wait for that long and start the counterattack before the second half of the May. And John Kirby announced about the new military package that will be delivered to Ukraine. So far we are unaware of what will be in that package, but I think it would be the last one till the massive counterattack that Ukraine will conduct very soon. Before, American side say that there will be no ATACMS rockets delivered to Ukraine, but they also say that they will compensate those rockets with a similar range weaponry. I think those could be the aviation rockets that our MiGs might fire from the long distance. Denmark and Norway agreed to send 8,000 artillery shells for the Ukrainian army. Well, really it's just for 2 days of war, but those particular shells could be used for Caesar artillery systems, and because we have the limited number of those systems, the 8,000 shells is okay. Alright, there's one more explosion reported near to Ukrainian border on the Russian territory, nothing unusual. And remember the Chinese spy balloon that was shot down by the American Air Force? Well, it was confirmed by the United States intelligence that this balloon was made for the purpose of spying. And they also say that China was able to collect the information from the electronic signals, which can be picked up from the weapon systems or include communication from the base personnel. Here we speak about the secret military bases inside the United States. So it was a good decision to shut down that balloon, but it was done very late, so China received the information. Kind of the interesting article by that Telegraph, and partially I would agree with that. So they say that Ukraine have to lose the best of the best pilots because we fly old MiGs and Russia flies the better planes, like Sukhoi Su-35 or Sukhoi Su-34. And MiG-29 is very old airplane compared to those modern Russian planes, but still here we should speak about the combat missions between airplanes. And it rarely happens. Russia mostly concentrate their aviation up to the front line, not further. And for Ukraine it is the same, so mostly we have the casualties from the air defense systems. And I think that F-16 is as vulnerable as MiG-29 against the Russian S-300 system. For example, because they have the similar structure, they boast 4th generation of the airplanes, and they could be identified by the Russian S-300 systems. If we speak about the F-35, yes, it's totally different story. But I don't think that we'll have F-35s in Ukrainian army, because even for F-16, it's kind of difficult to get them to Ukrainian Air Force. But nevertheless, F-16 is still much better compared to MiG-29. It has the similar performance, but for the single engine, it may carry the better weaponry, it has the better radar, and moreover, it uses the Western-made ammunition, rockets and bombs. that you cannot put under the old Soviet MiGs, but for the airplanes that we received from Slovakia and Poland, you can do it. Because they were modified, but still F-16 is much better, F-18 is much better, Gripen is much better, and many more. The Ukrainian army spokesman said that Russian forces are very far from capturing Bakhmut. I don't think so. They might actually capture it in the end, but they're far to encircle the city. But that capturing action is very slow, as you can see from the map reviews, and might happen after 1 month or something. Then Ukraine will start the massive counterattack and will totally change the vector of the war development. And again, something happened to the Russian collaborant in Melitopol and also with his car. I think that collaborant may claim for a warranty, but at first he needs to get out from the hospital. So what is happening there? Russians called that we are Russians, God with us. And they're united against the building of the Muslim mosque inside the Moscow. As they say it should be built on some sort of the Christian land of the lake. And Kadyrov said that he is basically against those protesters and they should be sent to the front lines. And you can see how Russia is really divided. They have different regions with different national minorities that have their own religions. For example, Chechens or Burats, they also have totally different religions, and at some moment the tensions would be so high that they would not be able to live together. My friends, I want to say it again, follow me on Telegram, it keeps us connected. And also press the like to this video, and if you want to support my job, there are some links available in the video description just below, or you may support me on Patreon or the sponsorship of this channel to have the opportunity to join the unique content. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky and have a great time.